Hello, hello, hello there. Hey, Instagram, what's going on? What's going on, peoples? Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic Thursday. I am having a fantastic week. I'm not going to say just a fantastic Thursday. It has been a fantastic one. We have been doing this summit for small business owners all week long. We actually launched our book today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is Tax Strategies for Small Business Owners. And let me stop that noise right now. But I am super excited. Hello, A-Win for you. Hello, Delia. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. Hey, Willa, how are you? A Whitfield lady, how are you? How are you guys? Listen, guys, today, what we are talking about, we're talking about being proactive rather than reactive. Being proactive rather than reactive. You see, when you are proactive, you are preparing for the changes. You are looking forward. You're doing some forward thinking. You are kind of just looking at the past. So I have a special guest that's going to be coming on with me momentarily. I do see him in the room. Let me go ahead and wave to all of you that are out here really quickly. Hey, Regina, how are you? How you doing? So before I bring him up, we're talking about being proactive rather than reactive. Let me officially introduce myself because I know that there are some newbies out there who are like, who is this lady? Well, I am Dr. Cozette. I am America's #1 tax and accounting strategist. I am the CEO and founder of My Financial Home. We are a tax, accounting, and business services firm, and we service 6- and 7-figure CEOs, helping them understand where that money is going, helping them remain proactive versus reactive, helping them reduce that tax bill. And I also am the founder of the Tax Curative Lab, in which I work with tax professionals, enrolled agents, and CPAs to help them, you guys, shift from stuck to unstoppable. Help them move that needle from the 6-figure mark to the 7-figure mark and beyond. All right, so if that's you, I need you to stay tuned because I'm going to be bringing my guest up momentarily, and we are going to talk about what does it look like for a business owner to always stay reactive instead of reacting based upon things that go on with his or her business. So let me find there we go. Hey. So I have my guest, Albert, with me. And Albert is going to appear momentarily, but Albert and I go back a little ways. Hey, Albert, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How's it going?
It's going well for me. Are you deep into the season? Or are you just working on some preliminary like W-2s and 1099s and still doing some reconciliation over there?
Nah, we're wrapping up. We're still doing year-end close for our month-over-month clients. So we're wrapping up year-end close, heading into budgeting and gearing up for tax season. So we're busy.
Okay.
We are.
So that's what I want to talk about. Like he said budgeting. So that's like being proactive. He's wrapping up the year end. So Albert, before we jump into it, tell the people who you are, what you do, and where are you located?
Yeah, so first off, thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely.
But as previously stated, my name's Albert C. Hurston Jr., CPA. I am the CEO of Right Choice Accounting Solutions. Let me back up a little bit so you can see I always have it on me. Yeah, I'm the CEO of Right Choice Accounting Solutions. And what we do is we partner with consultants, agencies, and firms, and we allow them to outsource their full accounting function. So what we do is a little bit different. We don't offer accounting service or a la carte services. We offer accounting departments. So everything from bookkeeping to accounting through virtual CFO, through tax strategy, tax preparation. You partner with Right Choice and you have that for your business. So I oversee a company that offers that service.
All right. So you guys heard it. He said he does the whole shebang. So Albert, you and I, we were having a conversation some few months back, and then you made a post and I was like, look, that's what I'm talking about. You got to be proactive rather than reactive. But let's talk about the virtual CFO services, and then because that's going to lead right into this proactive versus reactive. Talk to me about why do you think so many business owners fail to get their finances in order, which in hindsight, it does prevent them from being proactive.
Yeah, I actually think is a knowledge thing. I think that there isn't a lot of knowledge around what we do in the, the small business online industry. And I do think that most people think of the accounting profession practically as bookkeeping and tax.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they realize that the ROI comes from, as you know, number one strategist, the strategy. All the ROI, all the return, all of the important stuff comes from strategy. And the things that you hear about are really just the admin pieces. Like
Exactly.
tax preparation is data entry. Bookkeeping is data entry, for the lack of
Right.
better words.
Right.
But I don't think there's a knowledge thing around that allows people to understand you need to start with strategy, and that should dictate how the admin functions are even entering the data.
Right. Because if you're starting with the strategy, by the time you get to the tax piece, believe it or not, you won't find all the surprises then. The surprises won't hit you in the face when you go to have the taxes done, because you've been proactive all along the way, and you've been working with a department, a company. You've outsourced your work to virtual CFOs who are assisting you with ensuring that they are planning, they're doing the tax planning, help ensuring that you are implementing some of the tax savings that you possibly can, and you're not waiting till December, November, and then you call us in January and have those questions of, oh, I did not do this. That's because you wasn't being proactive.
Definitely, definitely. Like all my clients, and probably the same with yours, my clients already know what their tax bill is going to be.
Yeah.
Like we do get a lot of clients that come to us because they got that big tax bill and don't know where it came from. But since October, we've been pretty much dialed in with last minute tweaks and that sort of thing. But my clients they're fully prepared for what their tax bill will be.
Right.
So they decided, they decided we had plenty of time to do things to
Right.
lower it
And
or.
that's what happens. And so that also brings up that estimated taxes as well when we talk about strategy. And for those of you who don't know by now, and you haven't said with your person and they haven't given you a number, your tax liability, excuse me, your estimated taxes are due on the 17th of January. So working with someone will have already helped reduce what you're paying to the Internal Revenue Service, or even if you do have to pay taxes, that means your business is sustainable, is doing well. You know what I'm saying? If you have to owe, and which is not always a bad thing, you guys. I mean, we always say we want to pay the Internal Revenue Service as least as possible, in which we do, but some things are inevitable. We can't get over them. So
Yeah.
what besides, talk about what do you guys actually do? I know what you do, but the people out there may not understand what exactly is an accounting department. You said payroll, you said bookkeeping, but what else you do? You guys do have a tax planning department in there, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's practically everything. And thank you for asking it. That. Let me back off the camera a little bit. Hold on. Let me get. There we go.
While you're doing that, let me just give a shout out to some of these people. We have Self-Made Queen 24. Hello. We have GPS Financial Services. Hello. We have JM Williams CPA. Hello. Miss Chardin 83. Hello. Nora. Hello. Esther Vincia. Hopefully I didn't butcher that up. Lauren Hurston. Is that what are they with you? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Allie
COO.
Young. Hello. CET Consultant, hello. Essential Statements, I love these. Regina Christine Creighton, Centet, A. Whitfield, A. Whitefield, lady, I think that's what that says. If I missed you, forgive me. But hello, and thank you so much for joining Albert and I. If I missed anybody, hello. So yeah, go ahead and explain to them those services that are in the office.
Yeah, for sure. And so what we do is we pretty much just copy what's done in corporate America. So every company has all these different needs. I'm gonna simplify it because so bear with me. Each company has all these different needs, like from bookkeeping to accounts receivables, accounts payables. They have all of these different pieces that fit together to put together what we always call the accounting puzzle. So instead of having to be a CEO who learns about all these individual areas, AP, AR, bookkeeping, having to understand the difference between those, the accounting level, the review level, the management level, the CFO services, the difference between tax strategy and tax preparation, having to understand the different levels, because, even with us, you can't even hardly talk to a CFO the same way that you would talk to a bookkeeper, because you're stepping on somebody's toes. Like,
Right.
we get past all of that stuff by just lumping it together and showing them a team. Like, my lead accountant right now is Jamila.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people who work with us, they would know Albert. Of course, they know Lauren, and they know Jamila.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know a lot of our bookkeeping and tax stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but they know, like, those pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they have the type of question you're asking, so what's the difference between AR and AP?
Oh, I know
Like,
the difference between AR and AP. AR is the person that collects the money. AP is the person that pays the bills.
yeah, but most people have no idea, because an accountant is just an accountant.
Right.
But you would know, if we're delivering that service, we may need a person that does, like, considering that we have a bigger company, we may need a person that just does AR and a person that just does AP. We need different processes and, segregations of duties and levels and blah, 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 all those things.
Right.
So that's kind of what we put together. We put it all together to work the way that it should work, so that they don't have to even understand to that level all of the different pieces that they need. Did that make sense?
It makes clear sense to me. My background is accounting. That's all I
was going to say, of course it makes sense to you. Of course you know.
For 20 plus years, 30 years. So listen,
that's a fact, J.M. Williams.
Hey, J.L. Williams thought they have no idea, because we are calling it AR. So, okay, AR, he already said it, but it is accounts receivable. Receiving, the person that receives, they go out and they collect the cash. They the collections manager. They go out and say, "Where's my money?" That's the person. Where's my money?
Yeah.
And if you don't have the money coming in, then the person on the AP side, the accounts payable, he or she cannot pay the bills. So in layman's terms, like, we got to run a AP AG to see what's due, and then we go hound our AR person to see if they can bring in any extra money, if they could call clients and say, "Can you pay us a little earlier?" Because so it's accounting.
Yeah, I love the way you even thought about it, because you already explained it on a level deeper than most people even understand that they need. Because a lot of companies just think they need to hire an accountant, but some people don't have a collection skill set, or some people ain't finna hound nobody. That some people just not about to do it. Like, they're not about to be calling and following up and blah blah blah.
And just since we're on that level, like, without proper accounting, you guys, especially for those of you that are in the coaching and consulting industry, and those of you that have payments set up, I can almost guarantee some of you have money left on the table, because possibly there was a cash payment or a payment that didn't process properly. And if you're not going and looking at your receivables, looking at what's due, then it possibly could be some money just sitting around. And that could have been money that came in for 2022 to help you reach your sales goal. But because you wasn't active, or you didn't have someone actively working with you, guess what? You forgot about it. Maybe you caught it at the beginning of 2023. Maybe you still haven't caught it. But as professionals, these are things that we do. And when Albert brings on when his company outsources, or when you outsource with Albert and they serve you, those are some of the things you do. We don't do full service to that extent. I know about it, you guys, because I just spent years and years in the corporate world. Like he said, a department. I was with purchasing, IT, manufacturing, HR, you name it. I played a role in the various departments just because of the role that I played. So that's why I have my expertise, and that's why I love my small businesses, and I help you guys grow, because I spent years. So talk to the people about what does it look like to be proactive? What is that tax strategy? What does that tax planning do? And what are some of the things that you've been able to unfold and find for your clients as a result of being proactive?
Well, I thank you so much for that question, because the way that I think about it is this. So proactive is, to me, or the ability to be proactive is really based on having the ability to make sure that your reactive piece is done beautifully. So when I think proactive, of course, I think future based. It is taking what we already have, taking what we already know, taking all the information that we have now, using it to almost project, but I don't want to use project because of projection, but almost, kind of strategize or predict what will happen in the future. So, a good example is having solid bookkeeping allows you to have solid financials. Solid financials allow you to build solid projections. But there are some things that, a lot of the CEOs we work with have to have in place. Like, they have to be consistent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
in the coaching and consulting industry, there's a lot of coaches who coach coaches who say, well, no, you should do this and you should do that. And it's like shiny object syndrome, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You got to be consistent in how you do things. You got to have a methodology around how you think about stuff and how you do stuff. You got to be predictable.
Yes.
Because
yes.
in order to project anything, you have to be able to predict, okay, if this happens, this is how our numbers should move. If that happens, that's how that happens. But unpredictability, random stuff, shiny object syndrome, it almost makes it hard to be proactive because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So as far as like tax strategy, to get right to the one that you already know about, once you have good bookkeeping and numbers in place, once you can arrive at that net income number, pretty much everything outside of business income is locked.
Right.
We manipulate that net income number.
Right.
Like spend more, spend less.
Right.
Your depreciation is gonna be this. We love depreciation because I call it an invisible expense. You get that expense without having to actually spend any money.
Right.
We know what you should put in yourself. We know all these things, but in order to get to, again, being proactive, you gotta have that solid reactive bookkeeping admin stuff in place. So that's how I look at it. As far as like tax strategy, even operation strategy, who you can afford to hire.
Right.
Are we getting a return on our marketing? Do we need to spend more? Should we spend less? Marketing should righteously never be a such thing as overspending in marketing, because it should have a conversion percent. You should be converting marketing dollars, but you need good reactive numbers in order to be proactive. So that's kind of how I always talk about the two of them.
Right.
Now,
those are all good. I mean, you're right on the money, to be honest with you, right on the money. You use the scenario of the what ifs, the forecasting. And you guys, what I want to tell you is just because we forecast and things don't pan out the way we want, that's why we can go in and reforecast and replay with the numbers, because, here's path number one. If you hit 2.5. Well, if you don't hit the 2.5, then let's look at this. And so we just go in and we play with numbers. When we say we numbers people, guys, we are seriously numbers people. Like, we just go in and we're really looking at what's best for you.
Yeah.
So
I think my team has started telling me that I read numbers like a book sometimes. Like I can almost tell you about a CEO or entrepreneur. Like when we first start working with somebody and we get all their stuff combined or compiled, and we start looking, I can start telling you things about how they think, what kind of decisions they make. If we're gonna struggle to get them to stop spending personal, like I can almost do it to a science. And I think people like us, Dr. Cozette, we're the ones that they don't really realize they need, because even in the reactive versus proactive thing, you need that reactive stuff, but the proactive stuff is what's going to get you ROI. That's what changes accounting and tax from being an expense to being an investment. Because we pay for companies like mine and yours, we pay for ourselves. Yeah. We cost more, but you don't end up paying. You net a savings, As opposed to, I always tell people, like, people waste a lot of money trying to save money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit. I feel like we deserve to read that one. That's long.
She says, I agree. I'm a bookkeeper who partners with tax professionals, and they are very happy to have found a good bookkeeper. It makes their financial planning and tax preparation easier. It
For
does,
sure. For
because
sure.
we're taking the information that you guys put together. We may scrub it a little bit and ask some more questions and take a deeper dive, but it helps us with the planning. It really helps us understand, like, how we can, it's a strategy. Where do we want to tell you to drive your dollars to?
Yep.
Put it in this bucket, leave it in this bucket for X amount of months. You know, you even talked about staffing. By projecting and being proactive, we can say, well, let's hold off on hiring until third quarter. This is when we will see a surplus, or we will be comfortable because we've won this contract. We will see how it's planning, you guys.
Yeah, I have a very, like, when I meet with some of my higher tier clients, we have like 10 minutes of every meeting where we call it our if we do this, we expect this segment. I call it segment. Like, because we always want to we really spend most of the time in the projection. Like, so
that's what it is.
Yeah, if this happens in January, February, March, and April, and May, can we do this? So then we have a conversation. Like, yeah, if marketing is this and you get this conversion and we blah, 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 and blah, 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 we should be able to hire a person to do this. And then even when people start, because, I work with consultants, coaches, if someone's like having a new event or they want to start a new launch, a lot of times that money is not here. So we really have to dive into, okay, so what data do we have to be able to project?
Right.
What's our marketing conversion rate? So, okay, so if you spend this in marketing, we could expect to get this many ticket sales. This many ticket sales justifies us spending this amount. Okay, we can get, and then too, it's funny. I'm gonna say this out loud too, so people don't just run with it. It's always a little wrong. It's always estimated.
Yeah, it is an estimate. It's a forecast. It is a forecast. And that's why I said a few seconds ago, guys, we can go back and reforecast. And that's why, like, we're nerdy. I'm just going to say it. Like, that's why we like to see the actuals, but we like to see the actuals and compare to what we forecast. And then we like to go in and take a deeper dive. Like, the reason why you didn't hit this number is because of this. So, like, that's sexy to us.
Yeah, and that's what makes them and saves them money. It's sexy to us, but it's the sad thing is it's sexy to us. It can be boring to them, but it's almost like it's the most important thing. It's like forcing them to eat vegetables. Right. I know J.M. Williams. I know you used to like trying to convince people to just see what you're trying to get across. Like, yeah, it may be boring. Yeah, you may have to stick with me, but this is the important part.
Right.
Writing off that $6,000 vehicle, that's sexy.
Right.
But having an actual strategy in place, it's boring, but that's gonna save you it's gonna save you so much money. You ain't gotta be trying to depreciate a $6,000 vehicle.
And since you said that, like, they should be coming to us trying to determine, is it feasible for them to purchase that vehicle? Those are some of the things we're going to tell you. Well, don't do it now. Let's wait to the top of the year. Here's why you're going to wait to the top of the year. Here are the advantages and disadvantages. Well, the depreciation. So, guys, we feel as though you don't value us, and we feel like you think you don't need us. But I'm telling you guys, you need a financial team on your side. If you really want to grow and save and cut dollars, guys, you need an advisor. You need a CPA. You need a tax professional. And I'm going to tell you guys, you may think, well, Albert is a CPA. He knows it all. There is a difference. I'm going to say we overlap. We overlap. And so there are some CPAs who don't specialize in taxes. There are some tax people who don't get into the nuts and bolts of the generally accepted accounting principles and things of that nature. But trust me, guys, I don't care what our title is. make sure you have somebody that's financially savvy on your team that can help you grow your organization, help you save, and not owe Uncle Sam. And again, it's okay to owe Uncle Sam, but just make it minimal.
That's a fact.
You know?
That was a fact. I think I went on a social media rampage at one point saying like a CPA is a certification. You got to learn these titles. Like a CPA could be a tax strategist, tax preparer, could be a CFO, could just be a regular accountant, could own a bookkeeping practice. Any of those people could be a CPA. But like you say, like that don't tell you nothing about our skill set. It tells you that, we smart and we committed to passing that hard exam. We experience it, tell you things about us, but it can tell you what we're good at.
Right.
It don't tell you that. So I agree 100%.
Well, I say that also because, it's tax season and people are always, our consumers, our taxpayers, they call the office, are you a CPA? No, but I can do just as much as the CPA except for sign off on an audit.
Yep.
So, my background is so broad. I stayed in corporate so long. It's just, I'm that smart nerd.
Yeah. We all know, I don't want to do it publicly, but we all know it's some non-licensed people who will run circles around some licensed people. We'll be acting crazy if you some lazy CPAs.
Yes.
Like
yes.
we'll be lying if we pretend like, oh, CPA means they're better. That's just, I know plenty of people that I be trying to hire them. Like it's people that, I won't get into it.
Right. We don't have to get into it.
Yeah, we can talk about it later, but lazy is lazy.
But the main thing is the main thing. Like if you're gonna have somebody on your team, you guys, inspect what you expect and check the credentials. Anybody out there can really say they're a CPA, but everybody not a CPA. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing. I mean, even when folks call my office, are you a CPA? No, I'm not a CPA, but I'm gonna act like I'm a CPA. I've got years of experience. I just didn't take that test, baby.
Hey, Dr. Cozette was doing. I'm a CPA. Dr. Cozette was doing this when I was on. Yeah, so that's a good example. Dr. Cozette, I got the credential, and I'm experienced, but you were doing this before.
Fact.
Oh yeah,
just don't
that's
start
a
on
fact, JM Wig.
Oh,
hey, we need to chop it up. I feel like me and him. I can't see your picture.
Well, it's a couple of. It says J.M. Williams said the facts, but just don't start on the enrolled agents versus the CPA war.
Oh yeah, it's tough out here. It's tough out here now. Never mind.
Well, I've been on the summit all week, you guys. So I bring this up on every. We've been doing them at 11 and 4, so I've been bringing it up every week, every segment. Like, what is the difference between a CPA, an EA, a tax professional, an accountant? So let's break it down for them. I mean, we know that a CPA is a certified public accountant. Mm-hmm. He or she practices on a state level, and it's usually generally accepted accounting principles. You can rely on a CPA for things where it needs to be audited and it needs to be certified that they reviewed all of the documentations and they're in the guidelines of generally accepted accounting principles.
Yeah, so, we have to kind of stick by the AICPA standards. Yes. So independence and do no harm. That's the legal version, but we can't do nothing that harms the public and that sort of thing. But again, to your point, it don't mean that we do taxes. It just
it doesn't. Yeah. It does not. But when you think about it, for all of you, we're just giving you an education right now. Most of our CPA, or all of our CPAs for the most part, they go through some work. Like they have to go through the IT, do the audit IT. They have to do field work, general accountant. They have to do work on the tax side. But that doesn't mean that they have a love for tax. Yep. They may not. They could care less about it, but because they have to go through the guidelines and the ropes and get the experience behind them, they have to do what they have to do to get certified. Okay.
Yeah. We're reasonably competent. is how we put it. Like, we're not, you want somebody who's specialized. You want somebody who's experienced. What you could say about a CPA, just somebody who's licensed, not individuals, of course, is we're reasonably competent across all areas of, accounting, tax, and business.
Mm-hmm.
That's practically all that tells you got a higher level degree and 2 years of experience at least.
Right. And then when we talk about our
Thank you,
enrolled agent
Jamie.
guys, those are on the federal side, but that's taxes. They can represent you before the Internal Revenue Service. A CPA can also represent you before the Internal Revenue Service. However, as we just said, all CPAs may not necessarily specialize in accounting. So when you call us during this tax season and you asking, are you a CPA? That's not even the right question to ask.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, what else do you want to share with the audience in this time we have together?
No, I really just want to celebrate you. I appreciate you for having me and thinking enough to add me to your platform, because I guess at this juncture we've known of each other for years and known each other for a long time.
Right.
So no, I just appreciate you. It looks like the people in here, they pretty much are nodding their head saying, yep. So a lot of them already feel where we're coming from. But no,
they agree, and it looks like we got a lot of supporters here, a lot of CPAs, a lot of nerds, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta get some glasses because I can't see nothing.
Jay, I ain't gonna
talk to you, J.M. Williams. I'm just now, like I was looking down, I was like, wait a minute.
We got Rhythm
you
Accounting. We have Hair by Janice Renee. We have Regina Christine Creighton. We have Love Jaza. Of course, we have J.M. Williams, CPA. Regina again. Yeah. Credit Bestie. Your Credit Bestie. Slim 4, ex Hollywood. Boom. Okay, that's a long one, Slim. Introducing Terica. We got a lot of people in here. I am Tanya Griffin. And I don't even want to mess up this young lady's name. Delia Virginia. Forgive us. We said we numbers people. We didn't say nothing about English.
Yeah, that was the point I was making. I can't even see no more. Like I've been going to the eye doctor every appointment every year. They've been telling me, you don't need it, but you can kind of use it. It'll help you.
Come on now, you look at numbers now. Don't be transposing no numbers over there.
Yeah, everything I do get double checked. Everything, segregation of duties on everything, get right choice.
Well, you know what, Albert? This has been fun. Like Jay Williams said, she got to get back to work. Stay black and blessed. She said, "Stay black and blessed." We ain't mad at you.
I know that's right. That's right.
This has been fun. I so appreciate it. Like, you guys don't know, Albert and I don't even know, a couple of months back when we ended up on the phone for a good 2 hours just running our mouth. But it's good to have good people in your corner and good people who are doing the same thing and that can really relate to one another. And our main takeaway, you guys here, listen, is to make sure that you have a professional on your team that's helping you manage your money and helping you save, helping you plan for retirement, helping you drive the money where it needs to be. And by the way, if you don't know this, guys, I want to make sure that you are fully aware you should have at minimum 5 accounts. You need your income account, your operating account, you need your payroll, your income tax account, and you need a reserve account. So make sure that you are having this conversation with your professional as well. The reason why so many businesses failed came pandemic is because they did not have that reserve. And a lot of them were really just operating incorrectly, really. Yep. And that's why we, as the tax professionals, the CPAs, the EAs, were hit so hard during the pandemic because many small businesses were not operating correctly, they didn't have a team, they didn't have someone managing the accounts receivable, accounts payable, looking at the forecast, strategy, and all of those things. So we want the message for you guys, or I want the message for you all, and I'm sure Albert would agree, is just, be proactive and stop reacting upon things.
Yep.
Stop reacting upon things, okay? Yep. So real quick, where can they follow you, Albert?
Yeah, so I am Albert the CPA on Instagram and Twitter. I spend most of my time on LinkedIn nowadays. Albert C. Hurston Jr. Right Choice Accounting Solutions is the company. I think they're everywhere. My social media team runs it, y'all. So y'all don't judge me too much. Uh, yeah, Right Choice Accounting Solutions everywhere. I don't know if I'm Albert anything on Facebook. I know Right Choice Accounting Solutions on Facebook. But if you want to reach out, you can DM me here or probably hit me up on LinkedIn if you actually want to meet and talk. If you want to work with Right Choice, rightchoiceaccountingsolutions.com. Contact
Where
us
you at?
page.
Where are you at? Did you tell them where you at?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in Georgia. I'm in if you're from Atlanta, I'm from Gwinnett County. If you're not from Georgia, I'm from Atlanta.
Whatever that means, y'all. But
Yeah,
listen
you
here.
can't claim Atlanta to people who really from Atlanta.
Got it.
But if you're not from the area, I'm in the greater Atlanta area.
Okay, got it. Well, guys, you can follow me on all social media outlets at Cozette M White. You're right here watching this, so I'm Cozette M White. On YouTube, I'm at Dr. Cozette M White. I want to invite all of my tax professionals, my enrolled agents, my CPAs, my tax attorneys. I want to invite you guys to Thrive Live. It is May 11th through the 13th. It is here in Los Angeles, California. It is a conference designed by a tax professional, accountant, whatever name y'all want to give me. I've been in the industry long enough to give me whatever title y'all want to give me. But on the serious side, on day 0, you will have an opportunity to earn up to 12 continuing education hours for the Internal Revenue Service. We will have top experts in the industry teaching. Day 1, I will be teaching all about the mindset, all about strategy. You heard us talk about strategy, but we're talking about strategy for building your organization. We're going to talk about the pricing. So many of our business owners don't grow rapidly at the pace that they want to because of their pricing margins. We're going to talk about those margins. What does it really look like? And you all will be surprised, just because individuals are working with money and dealing with numbers all day, they still stumble with pricing correctly. But it's a mindset. It's really a mindset. So we're talking about pricing, proposals, and packaging. We're also talking about leveraging with our messaging. Well, who is our category of 1? We will also be talking about leveraging, the power of leveraging with systems and automation, as well as that team. I heard Albert say he doesn't even know his handles because his team handles it. That's what I want all of you to get to, that level where you have employees. It's okay to have your virtual assistants, but you need to get to a point where you have employees. You are an employer and you save. And those employees are more loyal than the virtual assistants as well. So
can I add to
that?
Can I add to that before you wrap it up? I'm so sorry. But no, the importance of having employees is, for anybody watching this, is focus. It's focus. So the people that are doing the day-to-day stuff in your business, now you don't need to be hiring an attorney. Probably don't need to hire, you definitely could outsource your accounting team.
Yes.
But those day-to-day ops people, like, you don't want to be just one check on their long list of clients, because it ain't going to work out for you.
Nope.
It's not going to work out for you.
It's not a lot of dedication, and they're just really, in my personal opinion, they're just there to collect a check.
Yeah.
Not to say that an employee is not there to collect a check, but an employee is more loyal and they are willing to help you grow as a small business owner. That virtual assistant, here today, gone tomorrow.
Yep. See it all
here
day.
Today, gone tomorrow. I got my check. I'm out. Bounce. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I learned. See, these are those lessons that we've had to learn.
Right.
I've had to learn this stuff. This has been a hard way lesson. Like, you just gotta pay the little extra money to get somebody who's a part of your team, dedicated to your vision, can buy into your mission, vision, and principles.
Right.
If you don't have mission, vision, and principles, before you do anything, create your mission, vision, and principles. Run your company based on that. Hire people who rock with that. And, like, y'all don't even know, like, working at Right, we be having a ball. Even when we busy, like, we be having a ball. I don't know if y'all can hear, like, it's storming right now, so everybody had to leave and go get their kids and all that. But just because we have cultural fits. Everybody who works here, we bought into this same thing. Everybody who
Right.
work here is an employee, and y'all, I'm talking about night and day between when we were just doing the virtual, the virtual ops people over here, the virtual assistant over here, the virtual person. I ain't never hired somebody overseas. I guess I need to try that just to see.
No, you
But
don't.
the
No, you
virtual
don't.
person in the
You
Philippines,
fine.
the virtual person in the Philippines who,
You fine.
yeah. But no, the commitment when you actually take it do take more. It's a little bit longer of a process to find the right people. But once you find that team,
And you guys all vibe and you all in alignment with the vision and the mission, then you can only go up. You can only go up. All of
Dr.
us that
Cozette,
song, you can only go up.
my team voted to go back to the office. We put it up for vote. Y'all trying to stay virtual? Y'all want to do hybrid? Y'all want to go back to the office? They're like, no, we go back to the office at least 3 or 4 days a week.
Probably a lot more productive in that
Oh yeah.
interaction and that
Hey,
camaraderie. Mm-hmm.
collaborate. You know that,
Yes.
the time that it take you to schedule a Zoom meeting to meet with somebody about a question, you could be
You
done
just call
tapped
them
them.
on. Yep.
Yeah, you be done tapped them, talked about it, moved on, ate lunch, did all this stuff. You
Yep.
got time at 1? You got time at 1:30? How about y'all? Like everybody sit here,
Let's
be
just
like,
do it
hey, y'all.
now.
Yep. It's
Exactly.
amazing. I
Yep.
never thought I would prefer that back over virtual, but when you got the
Higher
right people,
productivity. It's all about the productivity and making sure that everybody is in alignment
yep.
and making sure that the task at hand is getting done. And so when you have a cohesive team, you guys go further. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we will be talking about building a team, you guys. What does that really look like? And there are some companies that can grow with a slim team, and then there's others that maybe you need consultants, I'm gonna say consultants. So I do appreciate we appreciate all of you guys for joining in, hanging out with us for this last half an hour. We've been talking about being proactive rather than reactive in everything you do, and that means hiring outside virtual CFO, someone that can help you with some tax planning, someone that can help you look at forecasting. What I remember hearing on Albert's live was you need to be looking forward and not through the rear view mirror. You
Mm-hmm.
need to be forward thinking, because what happened in the past, all it's going to help you do is look at it's historical data that's going to help you project where you're driving to.
Yep.
All right. So I want to make sure that I get you guys. I didn't finish, but I want to invite you to Thrive Live. All you got to do is click the link in my bio. You'll get all the information about Thrive Live. It's May 11th through the 13th. I want to see all my CPAs, my EAs, my tax professionals in the house. Albert, you have any final words as we wrap this up?
No, just for you again. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for the people that will participate heavy in the comments. I think they moved on with their day, but I appreciate y'all. And that's it. Like if you anybody wants to connect, just follow me on here, shoot me a DM or something. But if you really want to chop it up, I'll be on LinkedIn. Albert C. Hurston Jr., CPA.
All right. You guys have a beautiful day. And thanks again, Albert. Take care. Stay safe over there in Atlanta, okay?
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.